And we do have our special guest on. Mr. Steve, how are you?
Do we have Steve on the line?
Let's see.
Yes.
Yes!
Oh, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do. He's on the air right now. We have Steve. And Steve is all the way from Canada. Thank you for being with us.
How you doing, sir?
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Fine, thank you. How about yourself?
Yeah, we're good, brother.
We are alive and happy.
And Steve was listening. He was listening to these jams. I seen him pop in his finger. I know. I'm like Dr. Dre. I got to move in his head.
Speaking about the music, Steve, you have an impressive resume. Please explain to everybody listening your background.
Yeah.
All right, my background. Well, I'm from Haitian. My parents are from Haiti.
Nice.
I was born in New York, but I was raised in Montreal.
Okay.
I got two other brothers who are all musicians. My younger brother, his name is Ricky. He's been touring with Madonna for the last 12 years. He's a keyboard player.
What's up, Rick? What's up, Ricky?
Wow.
Give him a shout out.
His whole family.
Huh.
Yeah, my youngest brother, his name is Anthony, and he's a drummer. He's also touring the world. You know, my dad is a musician. It all started with my dad. You know, he's a bass player. He's been playing music since he was a kid and a teenager.
What's up, Pops?
That's where we got. You know what I mean?
Wow. So it all started from your dad. It looks like you guys are musically inclined. Tell everybody what you've done. You're a Grammy producer.
Yeah.
That's insane, Steve. He's like, it is what it is.
I mean, congratulations,
I love
brother.
how humble you're
Yeah,
coming off right
it's
now.
He's
insane.
like, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
If it don't make money, it don't make sense. You could be 5 times. There ain't no money coming in.
No,
What the heck?
and I get that, but you know how long it takes to get there.
Yeah, right.
So who exactly have you worked with, Steve?
Can I tell you a story about the Grammy, about being humble, like you just said?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
There's this woman called Jody Gomez. She was the producer of the show called The Jacksons a few years ago. And one day she hit me up on Facebook. She said, "Steve, would you like me to introduce you to Tito Jackson?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And then, so 2 weeks later, I'm on the phone talking to Tito.
Nice.
And Jody says, "Steve, tell Tito what you've done." And I said, I play the flute, I do music, and blah, blah, blah. And then Jody was like, "Steve, you forgot the most important thing." I said, "What?" She said, "You didn't say you won a Grammy for Aretha Franklin." And so he said, "Man, that's the first thing you should have said." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, you know,
He's won a Grammy with Aretha Franklin, guys.
I think that's cool because it's like it kind of like shows what you prioritize in yourself. So I think that's dope, man. Keep that same energy.
And to say that you've been on the phone with the Jacksons, I mean, even though Mike ain't here, just to say they family, just connect to the Jacksons, that's a powerful thing.
And he didn't even announce that he was
know.
working with Aretha. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that's mind blowing.
I'd have been saying the same thing. Man, why you didn't tell him you
Yeah.
did that?
I know you don't want to brag, bro, but what was the Grammy you won for?
Yeah.
What was the Grammy that you won for? Can you hear us, Prince? Ask him.
Miss Steve. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. It's for the song "Wonderful" by Aretha Franklin.
Wow, Steve.
That's dope.
And he's so young.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Right.
That's amazing. So it's been in their blood. Their family's involved. They're committed.
Yeah, it's a full-time job. If you're gonna do the music thing, you can't have one foot out and one foot outside.
You got to be in, man.
You got to go head first.
Right.
You got to go head first.
But Steve, that's
And
anything.
I've been doing this since I was a kid. So
Okay.
it was already written. You understand what I'm saying? The journey was already written for me.
It's natural
It's not
for
something
you.
that I jumped on. Yeah, it's not something that I jumped on because other people were doing it and I decided to do it. It was what God set for my family to do.
Right.
So that's why our path was already laid out by God. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow. I
got
So that's
you.
why when people say I'm very humble, to me it's like there's nothing to impress people. This is what I do for a living. Like people, like you have an engineer or lawyer That's what they do for a living. So the same thing with my music. But I've been fortunate to have been recognized for the good work that I've been doing by the grace of God.
Yes, indeed.
That's an amen. How do you think you got recognized, Steve?
What I mean?
What did you do to get you recognized? How do you feel about getting recognized? What did you do that really got your recognition? What got your name out there?
Well, I got signed by one of Puffy's producers. His name is Ron Lawrence.
Okay.
So he's the one who produced Hypnotize, Been Around the World, all the hits that were coming out of Bad Boy back in 97.
You can't see her, but Mimi just almost did a backflip.
I know. I almost fell on the floor. This is insane. This is my generation right here.
She loved, Hypnotize.
Biggie, come on.
You almost had her on the floor, bro.
Puff Daddy, it's a group with
I had 911 on dial already. Mimi that's awesome.
But you know what,
awesome.
Steve? We're going to do this again.
So
we're going to bring you back on again,
hold
Mr.
on,
Steve.
Let him finish me saying.
Okay, go ahead.
So being under him, he taught me the business and how to produce records. And he had so many hits under his belt, and he was very humble. So I learned that you're only good as your last hit. So that's why you gotta treat people with respect, no matter how big you are. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you never know when your time is gonna be up. So while you're on fire, be nice and do what you gotta do. And if by any chances you remain in the game, that's a good thing. I've been in the game for 23 years.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? I'm still doing it.
That's awesome.
Right.
Man.
That's great.
These are wise words.
Yeah.
You see that, guys? The ones that are entrepreneurs, independent people trying to get in. These are wise words. This is someone that's been with famous individuals, literally killing the game.
Right.
And they're telling him that he needs to stay humble.
Right.
And he needs to grab on when he's on fire.
Well, everybody says the same thing. I was with what's the guy name? I introduced his manager, T-Pain manager. He says the same thing. He said, man, you wouldn't believe how many people come in and they think they stars already. They hadn't put no groundwork in. T-Pain wore out, he said, 10 pair of tennis shoes before he got to where he was at. It's not easy. People jump in the game. They see these damn videos. This what I want to do. A bunch of girls around me in the hot tub. I mean, if you can even get to that level.
I mean, you can get that anywhere. You can just grab friends and do it.
Literally.
But I'm just saying,
it's just a facade.
You don't understand the hard work. So you guys that want to be entertainers, it's going to take hard work. And then it's going to cost you something. You got to spend some money out your pocket, too. That's what I'm telling my nephew. He wants to be a rapper, but I'm telling him, Unc is not going to pay for your studio session.
Yeah, you need to invest in yourself. I mean, it's actually like relieving to know that there's humble people in the game that are so successful.
Yeah.
And Steve is so down to earth. And speaking to him is like speaking to you guys.
Right.
Knowing that he has a Grammy, you wouldn't even know how humble he is.
Word.
And he's working with a veteran, working with an icon.
Word.
That, this is amazing. So by him releasing these jewels,
right?
These are jewels for people to listen and hear in. It's so important to be humble. It's so important to get in, try to negotiate and work with people.
And you know what? It's all about your next sales. That's it. They don't care about what you sold in 1992. Hypnotize. Have you sold anything in 2021? That's how the record deal is.
Speaking of which, Steve, you got any new projects that you're working on right now?
Yes. Actually, I just started a music house. It's what I'm doing is, I've been licensing my music to MTV, all the big shows on TV in the States.
Dope.
I've been doing it since 2005. I call it mailbox money because it comes in when you least expected. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a very lucrative side of the music business that not too many people know of. Mm-hmm. And what I'm about to do is sign producers and songwriters so they can have their music licensed as well, but under my umbrella of Pageot Productions.
Oh. I really like what I'm hearing.
It's a very hard business to get into, but over the years I've been able to build strong relationships with a lot of music supervisors from Hollywood and in New York.
Wow,
nice,
Steve. I really like what I'm hearing. Now that I know if anyone that wants to get something on another level, royalties or get protected or don't know how to go about it, I can refer them over to Steve.
Right.
There you go.
I know Steve will take care of them.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes, it is.
And he's been in the game for so long. Steve, I'm really happy to hear this. How can we find your page and find your work so we can send others to you?
Well, you can go to my website. It's www.stevepageot.com, and you will see all the links. And if you got music or bios to send me resumes, you can send it through my website. And my Instagram page, you can follow me at Steve Pageot, StevePageot.
And
all my handles are the same name.
He is tagged all over our page, guys. You can't miss it.
You can't.
Steve, when we're off the air, we're going to talk. We're going to work out some sort of agreement.
Yeah.
We're going to talk so I can get people here to be with you.
Because we know people, Steve, that's in the industry, and they trying to get, man, they're looking.
They're looking, but I can't give them someone I don't trust.
Yeah, and we going to talk. And so we appreciate you.
It's amazing. You just gave us some
I
jewels.
love it. Hey, this is what we're supposed to do. That's what it's called. Each one teach one. We help the next person get along. That way, if the ride don't have to be tough, like I'm a barbecue guy, I'm gonna tell you the easiest way to take. Now you might take this other way if you go through some bumps and bruises. Hey, I went through it.
Right.
So that's why I'm able to stop people.
He's leaving the doors open because it's such a broad industry.
Yeah.
That a lot of people don't know they can dip into these things and gain royalties and learn how to protect themselves. So he's saying, I got you.
Yep.
And that's a beautiful thing.
We appreciate you, Steve. God bless you, Mrs.
Yes, Steve, Grammy producer from Canada. Woo!
Right here on Peace on the Street, y'all. Thanks, Mrs. Steve.